Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Murmu. We were going through the 7 chakras Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. Then we saw what does the lower 3 chakras mean, what Kamini Kanchana means, lust and lucre. How does it, the term has come into Kamini, woman and gold. That also we saw. And how does the creation comes from various principles. Akasha Tattva, Vayu Tattva, Agni Tattva, Prithvi, Jala Tattva, Prithvi Tattva, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, how they deduce from each other, evolutes, one evolving from the other. And totally, the 5 elements are pertaining to the 5 senses we have, and that is the world we can perceive. This must be very clear to us. The Indian philosophy tells the whole world is evolved from the 5 elements. But in science we see 108 elements and all. These are different parts of the Prithvi Tattva or the material world. But what we perceive, now in that 108 elements of the science, sound doesn't come into picture. Sight doesn't come into picture. These are material world, physical matter, including air and all subtle ones. They are analyzed. What are the atomic presences in this? But what we perceive the world, the perceptions are from the 5 basic elements. The universe is created with 5 basic elements, and simultaneously the elements produce another aspect with it, the sense organs which perceive them. 5 elements, 5 sense organs. The sense organs is what we are perceiving the world. That's all the world. There is nothing more. What you see with the eyes, what you hear with the sound, ear, what you smell with the nose, what you taste through the tongue, what you smell through the nose, what you feel with the touch. Only these 5 elements are there, and this world is there, nothing more. And this is the whole world that we perceive. So this, and where does our mind, our consciousness, our awareness dwell? My awareness dwells, where does my awareness dwell? I am aware. Aware of what? This physical world around me. I am aware of the physical world around me. I have feelings, bhavanas. I have mind which goes on calculating and projecting out the thoughts. Thoughts, feelings, actions. I am at different level of consciousness I move about, but my awareness dwells at one is my enjoyments. One is sustenance of my life. I want food, I want food. I have to live here. I cannot live without food. So my mind dwells on food and protection of this body. Then I enjoyments. What enjoyment can I have? What enjoyment can I have? And I want sleep, and all these necessities. The lowest level to be like stones and material world. My mind often goes to that level of being matter. This is the lowest way. Laziness, lethargy, sleep, all these belong to the lowest. Then the enjoyments, the next, still more is clinging to life. These three layers, clinging to life, everything is included. Eating, drinking and all that. So lowest is to be matter and is called Mooladhara. The material aspect of my existence, I am aware of this material existence. Then comes, at that time, I want a house, I want this, that and all. And he is living like a animal, lowest. And then seeking enjoyments and running about for catching enjoyments. Play, this, that and all. Physical enjoyments. Then the clinging to life. If I am sick, if I am not well, if I am not getting food, what happens? These three I am trying to satisfy. These three. And these three levels of consciousness, Sri Ramakrishna is explaining here, it moves among the lower three centers, at the navel, at the sexual organ, and the organ of evacuation. These three. The Mooladhara, next is Swadhisthana, 4 inches above, behind the navel is Manipura. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. 3 levels, centers of consciousness. Where is my conscious dwelling? I am going to play football now. Where is my consciousness? At Swadhisthana. I am feeling like sleepy. I want to sleep. I have excessive anger. It is at Mooladhara. I want to sleep. It is at Mooladhara. I want to play. It is at Swadhisthana. I want to eat food. I am hungry. I am not well. It is at navel. Hunger. It is at Manipura. So these three, and pertains to as the another part of level of consciousness, it pertains to deep sleep, Sushupti, Swapna, and waking state, Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti. Even in when we are at the Mooladhara, it is like I am in deep sleep. When I am enjoying, it is like a dream world. Because there is no, when we are in that state also, in dream world when we are in the Swadhisthana, the level of enjoyment. I am enjoying means I am experiencing Sukha Dukkha there in the dream world. In waking state, I am in Manipura. In deep sleep, I am at the Mooladhara. This is pertaining to my 3 levels of consciousness. The 3 levels of awareness. Awareness is different. Awareness is when I am becoming aware. I am becoming aware of my sleep. I am becoming aware of my enjoyments. I am becoming aware of my sustenance of bodily existence. So these are levels of awareness. Those are levels of our layers of existence. Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti. Levels of consciousness, levels of awareness. And then there is feelings. Feelings go from here to there, Muladhara to Swadhisthana. So it moves like lift. Each has a different aspect of it. So somehow or the other, we dwell in the lower three. Whatever way we explain it, the jivas, all jiva pass through the lowest Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. These are the centers of consciousness, centers of awareness. So Sri Ramakrishna is explaining, when we start sadhana, we clearly start knowing what is my awareness, where is it? In and through all my activities, what am I seeking is where my constant center of consciousness. In and through all my activities, I am not interested in anything. Throughout my life, days after days, years after years, I am growing, but this one level is at Mooladhara only. When it grows, how it decides, you see. So some may be always seeking enjoyment. He's sleeping, he's talking, he's searching, his awareness is searching for enjoyments. It can be throughout his life. His center of consciousness is fixed at the enjoyment level, Swadhisthana. Like that, different levels of consciousness, it gets stuck up. The Swami Adhar Maharaj says, the struggle is to maintain the awareness at Ajna, even though there is a strong pull towards the lower centers. But to carefully say that it doesn't slip down to the lower levels of consciousness. So levels of consciousness, there it is this basis of Nirguna Nirakara, beyond the whole universe. Here, universe begins from here. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. Beyond is the realm of divine, as Shakti and as Chaitanya. So, Yatishwaraji says it must be always at the Ajna, though it cannot be at the Sahasrara. It becomes non-dual awareness. You cannot attend to anything. But here, with the Shakti, power of the same consciousness, you can be participating in the world. Keep the consciousness at very high level. When you merge in that consciousness, you see only light. When you are at that level of consciousness, awareness is kept there. You can be free from all the lower centers, effects of lower centers. So here we see the three lower centers. After great efforts and spiritual practice, Kundalini is awakened. What is this Kundalini? The power which has brought the Jiva into this creation, Srishti. This whole universe is there. The universe came into existence. Srishti, a Jiva comes into existence. Srishti. When the universe appears, the power which makes it manifest remains with it to make it dissolve again at the time of Pralaya. The universe appears, exists, sustains for some time, and again dissolves back. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya constantly goes on. It is moving from Srishti Sthiti Pralaya, various levels of consciousness. So, this layer of consciousness. Similarly, when we are brought, first time free from all karmas and all, by the will of the beyond. Why does the jivas come into existence? because of excessive joy, bliss in the Absolute. Absolute is the ocean of bliss, Ananda Sagara, Satchidananda Sagara. The excessive bliss, overflowing bliss, projects forth as these sparks, like when the thing is, you can see the welding torch. When they are doing welding, the excess of heat there bursts forth as small sparks of light. Like that, they are in Sanskrit it's called Vispulinga. When red hot iron is hit, it's already hot, one more blow on it. How the sparks come out. That sparks in that Absolute also, the excessive welding torch, electrical welding. When the torch is touching, you can see excessive heat, it is exploding like there. Like that excessive Ananda is projecting forth the jivas. And those jivas are nothing but the consciousness, Chaitanya. The sparks that emerge out are nothing but the iron which is being welded. But it's at a very high temperature, that's all. And because of that, it is split away from the main. But it is iron only. When it cools down, you see small globule particles fallen round. Like that is jiva's formation. If a jiva, as soon as it is split out, spurting out, it thinks, oh, what if I am the same Chaitanya? Immediately it dissolves. If that iron knows, I am iron, it immediately dissolves into the iron and becomes iron. A water droplet evaporates. If it knows, it becomes again, if it understands, because it is like a ice formation in a ocean of water. One drop has become ice, how it becomes distinct from the rest, but not different from the water. If it thinks, I am ice, distinct, but I am water, if it understands, it dissolves. If it thinks, how did I become this finite? I was infinite. If I am finite, I become finite, the acceptance, because it's consciousness. It is conscious. The consciousness, if it says, I become limited, immediately it enters into the realm of time and space, universe. And this jiva, what made it into, that energy lives with it to take it back to the source again. This energy which has made the infinite to appear as finite in this universe, as jiva, the energy which has brought it down remains with that, and till it goes back, it goes on moving from one body to another body according to karmic law of karma, and finally it evolves to merge back in the same source. That's called mukti, liberation. It was brought into the prison house of this nature, and it went back from the prison house to the infinite space beyond. So this is called Kundalini Shakti. Shakti is power, the power which has made infinite appear as finite, lives with it, and it is called Kundalini Shakti. Now Sri Ramakrishna is telling about Shakti. Shakti is to be awakened to go back to the source. The Shakti becomes dormant and stays there in the Jiva level, at the Mula Adhara. It has passed through all levels of consciousness, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. All the layers it has come, and at the Prithvi, it remains the Shakti. After great efforts and spiritual practice, the Kundalini is awakened. According to yogis, there are three nerves in the spinal column, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. This is another thing which modern man, scientific brain finds difficult to understand. We can see the brain, we can't see the mind. There is no proof of existence of mind except I have one. No, mind cannot be seen. I cannot see the mind of anyone. I can infer he has a mind because I have a mind. I know what is mind, how it works, because I have a mind. This is the only proof that another has a mind and he behaves like me. All animals have mind. I can understand because they to behave, they to perceive, they to react. We infer there is mind. So this mind, buddhi, intellect, manas, mind, manas, buddhi, intellect. Now this mind is the most important part which we cannot see but exists. We are very sure we don't have. But somebody asks you, can you show mind? How is this? We can't. We can show brain where it dwells, but we can't see or show how the mind is there, where the mind is there. It dwells in the brain. To that extent we can understand because my mind dwells in my brain, I understand. My mind, I say. I don't say my mind. So mind is here in the brain, we understand. It is the office of the mind, brain, but we can never show or see. Similarly, is these 7 chakras, levels of consciousness. We can experience and see, perceive, and be at that levels and experience what is that level, but we can't show. We can show the brain like that. We can show the spots where the chakras dwell. But brain is such a thing. Where does the mind exist? We can't point out. Because mind is an abstract, expansive thing which actually beyond the brain level. Brain is this much. Mind is how vast, you see. Now it can jump to US, next moment it can be in Singapore. It moves. It is everywhere and pervading. Mind is pervading as if. The whole world as if is within my mind. So mind is different from brain, but its center of working is from this brain. It works from this brain. So this is an important part. The 7 chakras where the yogis say, and the Sushumna, Ida, Pingala, the nerves. What are these channels? Just like we have arteries and veins connecting to heart. The blood flows through that. We have alimentary system. We have a tube from mouth to the anal cavity. Throughout we have. From heart to every part of the body there is connection. It makes the blood flow. Respiratory system. All these are systems. Nervous system. I am able to control. I am able to reflect. All these things are going on. I am able to feel sensory nerves, motor nerves. Nervous system is there from one point to whole thing. Similarly, where does the consciousness move? I am conscious. Every cell is conscious. Where from the consciousness is manifesting? Consciousness flow. Unending flow of consciousness is there. Like unending flow of blood is there as long as the person is alive. Unending nervous system working is there from birth to death. It is there, but it is whole thing is pervaded. How the currents are going, like that, this consciousness is flowing. Wherefore, from the core of our existence, it is flowing to the skin level. Everything is conscious. Look at the cell in the blood. The moment a bacteria comes, how alert it is. Immediately, the military part of the blood, WBC, white blood corpuscles, how they rush to kill that. They are conscious. Just like we are conscious of an enemy entering the house, it immediately jumps. And as the enemy strength is more, it immediately starts producing. The whole system is consciously working. Now, where from does this conscious come? Where from it flows? How my mind is conscious, my body is conscious, my senses are conscious. Where from it is coming? From the core of my existence. To where in sleep, in deep sleep, I go back. I am conscious, this consciousness goes back and again projects to the bodily level. And another channel keeps the body alive. When I am asleep, I am unaware of the body. This whole system is made by nature. The whole thing. When you're taking you to different levels of consciousness, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, waking, dream and deep sleep, it is taking you, nature is taking you. How much of systems they have created, you see. And when you are sent away to your home at night, when you are asleep, she takes care of this bodily existence. Breathing is continuing. Blood circulation is going on. You don't even know you have a body, and body is kept alive. Look at the world. Look at your bodily existence. Now, these are the centers from where the conscious expands, go on expanding. Where from the consciousness flow? From the infinity. Constantly it is going on. From Sahasrara to, like a magnet, magnetic lines of force you can see how constantly from North Pole it enters and South Pole it emits and goes away. This is the consciousness we come across. So these are called the three, the Sushumna, Ida and Pingala. We'll see about it in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.